Hello again, this is Dame with Efficient Sales Systems, where we help you sell more by selling better. This is part 2 of a multi-part series on negotiation. Negotiations is a very important but often overlooked part of the sales process. Salespeople with great negotiation skills generally have a 40 to 100% higher closing ratio than the average salesperson. It doesn't take a whole lot to be a good negotiator. It just takes mastery of a few basic skills. One of those skills is being a good listener. The ability to listen carefully and to focus on not only what the other party is saying, but how they're saying it and when they're saying it. That's critical to any successful negotiation. Paying strict attention to body language, vocal inflection, and context all come into play with being a good listener and thus a good negotiator. See, hearing is done by the ears, but listening requires the activity of the ears and of the mind. Hearing just requires that I have a functioning eardrum, okay? But listening requires that I focus and control my own mind and body. You have to have control of your breathing, control of your body positioning, and control over your thoughts, and most importantly, control over your own emotions. See, it's that emotional control. That can be a fleeting prospect for many salespeople. Many a salesperson has succumbed, I call it, to the lack of emotional control. And this lack of control is the source of many lost sales. Good salespeople, of course, are passionate about what they do and what they have to offer their clients. They're passionate about being successful at the art of selling, and reaching their career and their financial goals is a great way to do it. They display passion during a sales presentation in order to build excitement with the prospective buyer for their product or service. However, too many times with good salespeople, passion is confused with emotion, and emotion creeps its way into the sales process, especially during the negotiation phase. And this could be a critical mistake. Many sales have been lost because of a salesperson's inability to become master of their own emotions. For example, if a buyer feels that the price of a product or service that's being offered is too high or too expensive, some salespeople make the mistake of taking it personally and immediately take a defensive posture, as if there was something to actually defend. This defensive posture causes the salesperson to now prove that the prospect is wrong about their opinion of the price. Yes, this is an absolutely absurd way to sell, yet it occurs every day, even with the best of salespeople. I've seen it many times myself. This is an emotionally driven strategy and rarely ends in a sale. When you try to prove a prospect wrong about his or her opinion, that's what we call a downward spiral or death spiral. And the sales suffers a slow and painful death as a result. Instead, a good salesperson should take this opportunity to listen. This is where listening comes in. Listen to what the prospect is saying, but understand the meaning behind what they're saying. This is done most effectively by asking more questions of the prospect. For example, if the prospect says that the price is too high or too expensive, the immediate response should be one that doesn't escalate the situation, but relaxes it, such as, "Mr. Prospect, yes, the price can certainly be perceived as high. And I do realize that you want to get the best value for your money. Can you tell me what you mean by too high?" Then shut up. Yes, stop talking at that point. Now notice I didn't agree with the prospect that the price was too high. I merely said that the price could be perceived as being too high. Totally different approach with entirely different results. Now, instead of potentially angering my prospect by taking an overly defensive posture, I put myself in a position of gathering more information from the prospect by asking them what they mean by the price being too high. My prospect is now giving me clues on why they said what was said. and allowing me to listen and to learn from those clues. Make sense? Good. But I can only do all of this if I control my emotions during the negotiation. And I need to ask questions to get more information. That's the key. Remember, never take anything personally during a negotiation, okay? And always avoid getting on the defensive. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at dane@efficientsalessystems.com, or you can join us on our web at www.salescoachingresource.ning.com. Talk to you soon. Sell more by selling better.